Alright, welcome back again. So, this time we're going to do our weapon burn effects. We're going to keep it separate from the last one, just so it's easier to find for everybody. So, I've got three colors here I'm using. I'm using Seraphim Sepia. Then I'll be going into Agrax Earthshade, and then Druchii Violet. So, basically yellow, brown, purple is the combo we're going to use. You could use blue. I think Drakenhof Nightshade is the GW equivalent, but you could use inks as well. Sometimes I'll just use Vallejo inks or War Colors inks. I like using these just because I've got lots of pots on hand and I know the colors. Familiarity is nice. Okay, so what we've done previously is we've got a metal effect. A fairly bright silver, at least a medium silver. Not as bright as some of the other paint jobs I guess I've done, but bright enough that we can at least see the colors expressed on the metal. If it was too dark, you wouldn't be able to see anything. So first we're going to take our Seraphim Sepia, and I'm just going to be most of the way down the barrel. So, and I want to do smooth gradients, so I'm always pulling towards the end of the barrel. Underside, make sure you get all around. You're always pulling your paint towards the end of the barrel because that's where it'll settle. And then we'll do the lasers up here. So again, about 2/3 down, maybe 3/4 down even. You want the yellow to show up pretty much all the way to the back. You still want to leave a little bit of the silver showing. Pulling it to the front, filling in the recessed end a little bit, flip it over. Same thing, make sure we're going all the way down 3/4 to the end. Now our first, oh yeah, don't forget the ones in the back. For all your pesky locusts and fleas sneaking up on you, your commandos. So this one, these ones back here are so stubby, really you're not going to get much of a transition, but I still put all three colors on. I find it just, in my head, it makes sense to match it and to mirror it. Usually it'll be, the only ones distinguishable would be a yellow, a little bit of yellow scoring, and then into purple by the time we're done. But okay, we're back on the front, so I'm gonna just pick up a little more paint. Or a little more wash. Now this one, let's wipe a little off. So I'm not quite going back as far as I did the first time. And I can see that the spot that I'm applying it on is darker yellow than it was the first pass. Yeah, that looks fine. You don't want to have a clear line, like a clear kind of tide mark line where your paint is obviously starting from. You want to have it be a smooth transition. So it looks like it was a gradual buildup, not, you know, here's the line of where my yellow heat scoring originated from. All right. So we'll close up our yellow. We'll shake up our Agrax. I'm going to put a little bit of, actually grabbing a little bit of water from my, these are old, really old. They've been mixed down a little bit with water already a couple times. So I'm just mixing a little water into the edge of it, edge of the top there. Okay, and then same idea, but we're not going to be going all the way down the barrel this time. Maybe half. Close, probably closer to 1/3. No, we'll go half. It's a big barrel, right? PPC is a big gun, so I'm gonna put a lot on, and I'm gonna make sure I get the end as well. But then I'm gonna clean my brush off really quick, and then I'm gonna come back with my wet brush, and I'm gonna kind of feather it out a little bit, and that prevents me from having a mark where the brown and where the yellow was, and then the brown is starting from now. So same idea again. I gotta pull off little bit of the extra. I'm going to get all the way around. Those barrels were a little smaller, so I'm not too worried about the building that smooth transition. It's going to happen pretty easily by itself. Just on the PPC one, it's very apparent if you leave it if you put it on, leave it to dry, and then try and move it, it's going to look terrible. So you got to be quick. So again, we're pulling towards the end, starting to get a nice yellow into brown change there. Just make sure you get your underside too in the barrel. Great. That's good there. If you're wondering what the noise is, I've got a little vortex mixer for like vials. You just stick your paint pot on there and it shakes it up like you've shook it for a couple minutes, just your hand. Oh, yeah, it's the same thing, purple or Juchi violet. And this is a fairly small amount we're going to put on the end here. Oops. Just making sure we get it all the way around. And because of the amount of paint that I have on, it's not leaving too much on there that it's going to leave that tide mark stain. Same thing, a little bit. Pull off the excess. Pull it towards the end. So I'm always building up at the end. Color's always being drawn towards the end of the barrel. It's like if you're highlighting, if you're making something successively brighter and brighter and brighter on like highlighting a panel, you always want to be pulling your pigment, pulling your paint towards the brightest part, because that's where the pigment's going to settle and build up. Or vice versa, if you're shading something, you want to be pulling whatever your dark shade is, whatever you're using to shade, down into the recess, because where you stop moving your brush, that's where it's going to end up. It's going to settle there and affect it the most, or accumulate. And sometimes it's okay to go a little further up, just because it wouldn't be a uniform ring. So sometimes I'll do a little bit of purple kind of way back, just in a streak. But then if I have too much on, I just kind of feather it out. A little tough to see in the light, but I'm pretty happy with how it's turning out there. Yeah, it is. I don't know. Doesn't like that glare, I guess. But yeah, I feel like that's good enough for us. So I think we are ready for our black oil wash. Actually, really quick, just spotted a panel that doesn't have enough slight weathering. Right here, there's the culprit. Boom. There you go. It's better, I think. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to hit it with a varnish, leave it overnight, because I like it to be nice and fully cured and set for putting our spirits and stuff on top of it. And then after that, we'll be looking to oil wash. We'll remove it, clean it up, and then we will build our base. And I think we were looking pretty good after that. So if you ever have any questions, feel free to drop me a line or comment below, or hit up my hobby page there. Always happy to answer any questions anybody has on any of the parts, any of the supplies I use, any of the paints, how to pick colors for color combinations, consistencies, all that kind of stuff. Because a lot of times, if I've done something over and over, I don't always think to vocalize all the parts of it, just the ones that I think in the moment are kind of important to cover.